We were told this was progress. We were told this was an improvement. And on the surface, it looks convincing. The lights stay on. The shelves are full. Food is everywhere, at every hour, in every season. Yet something inside us resists the story. Our bodies speak in small ways at first. A heaviness that doesn't lift. A fatigue that sleep doesn't fix. A restlessness that feels physical, not emotional. We adapt, of course. Humans always do. We drink coffee instead of listening. We snack instead of waiting. We push instead of resting. And over time, the body learns to be quiet. Not because it's healthy, but because it's learned that no one is listening anymore. The modern world tells a simple story about food and health. That newer is better. That faster is smarter. That efficiency equals wisdom. We are taught that nutrition is something engineered, calculated, reduced to numbers on a label. Protein, calories, macros, supplements. Food becomes a problem to solve rather than a relationship to tend. We are told that the past was harsh and short-lived, that people suffered constantly. Without modern medicine, life was inevitably brief and brutal. And yes, there was hardship, injury, infection, loss. But the modern narrative leaves something important out. It forgets to ask how people lived between the crises, how they ate on ordinary days, how their bodies moved through seasons, not schedules. It forgets to ask what health meant before it was measured by machines. In medieval Europe, and later in early American settlements, life revolved around the land. Not as a lifestyle choice, not as a philosophy, but as reality. Food was not constant. It was seasonal, predictable in its unpredictability. Spring brought greens and bitterness. Summer brought freshness and lightness. Autumn brought density and preservation. Winter brought scarcity and simplicity. Villagers ate what grew nearby. What could be stored? What could be fermented, dried, salted, or cured? Bread was alive with fermentation. Vegetables were often soured before they were sweet. Milk was rarely fresh. It was cultured into forms that lasted. Meals were not rushed. Not because people had leisure, but because digestion demanded patience. Monasteries offer one of the clearest windows into this rhythm. Monks rose early. I worked physically, ate simply, observed long periods of fasting and silence. Their records show something striking. Not immortality, not perfection, but a consistency of health that modern populations struggle to maintain. Joint pain was less common. Obesity was rare. Digestive illness existed, but chronic metabolic disease was largely unknown. In early America, farmers lived lives of constant movement. Walking, lifting, bending, resting. Calories were earned before they were consumed. Food was not entertainment. It was sustenance, memory, and continuity. The human body is not a modern invention. It does not speak the language of speed. It does not thrive on constant stimulation. Digestion begins before the first bite. With smell. With anticipation. With calm. Traditional foods supported this process naturally. Fermentation softened fibers, activated enzymes, reduced compounds that irritate the gut. Long cooking broke food down before the body had to. Bone broths extract minerals slowly, gently. Meals were fewer, but more complete. Periods without food were normal, not framed as discipline, but as the natural rhythm of life. During these pauses, the body repaired itself. Inflammation settled. Energy systems reset. Metabolism was not pushed. It was allowed to flow. Gut bacteria thrived on diversity, on fibers, on time. The body understood what to do. If this is changing how you see food, let the algorithm know by liking this video. The shift did not happen all at once. It began quietly, with good intentions. To feed cities, to prevent famine, to reduce labor. Milling stripped grain of its living parts to extend shelf life. Sugar replaced complexity with sweetness. Refining removed bitterness, texture, and resistance. Food became stable, predictable, profitable. But stability came at a cost. Fermentation was replaced with additives. Time was replaced with chemistry. Variety was replaced with uniformity. Eating became continuous. No seasons. No pauses. No recovery. The body adapted, as it always does. But adaptation is not the same as thriving. The modern body is rarely starving, but it is often undernourished. Energy comes quickly, too quickly. Blood sugar rises and falls like a tide without a shore. The gut struggles to recognize what it's been given. Fibers are missing. Bacteria starve. Signals misfire. Inflammation becomes background noise. Not sharp enough to alarm, just loud enough to exhaust. The body is not failing. It is confusing. Asked to process foods it never evolved alongside. Asked to digest without rest. Asked to function without rhythm. The past does not offer a diet plan. It offers patterns. Eat foods that change with the seasons. Allow time between meals. Choose preparation methods that do the work before your body must. Value bitterness, texture, sourness. Walk more than you sit. Rest before you collapse. Treat meals as moments, not interruptions. These are not rules. They are reminders. They ask nothing dramatic, only attention. We cannot return to the medieval village, nor should we try. But we can remember what the body recognizes. Not everything old was better, but some things were quieter, slower, more aligned. Health was not something pursued. It was something that emerged. When food made sense. When rest was respected. When life had edges and pauses. Progress does not require forgetting. Sometimes, it requires remembering more carefully. If you want to keep exploring the truths modern life forgot, subscribe and stay with us.